Hello and welcome to our West Coast Today podcast with me, Kathy Griffiths.
Me, Owen Wild.
And me, Fiona Scott.
Here's just a taste of some of the many stories from our West Coast appearing in this Thursday's Oban Times and Lochaber Times and on our one-stop website www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. If you've more stories you'd like to tell us about and photos to share, why not get in touch with us by emailing editor@obantimes.co.uk or editor@lochabertimes.co.uk or contact us through our socials. Picking up the phone is also an option. Ring 01631 568 000. First up today is Owen. Owen, what have you got for us?
Thank you, Kathy. Well, I was chefing it up at Hope Kitchen last week for episode 3 of our new series Spotlight On. You can watch how I did and find out how to volunteer at one of the area's most beloved charities by watching the full video feature on West Coast Today.
I want the pizza recipe, Owen. It looked fantastic. Well done.
Pizza. Was it a stuffed crust, Owen?
No, it was not a stuffed crust. No, it was little mini pizzas. So no crust to stuff.
I would want mega pizza. Never mind mini
pizza.
pizzas. Give me the mega ones.
It looked amazing anyway.
Yeah. Well, there was also some storm last week on Thursday night. More than 93,000 lightning strikes were detected by Oban Airport's trackers as the sky was alight with electrical activity for hours. The thunder was constant too, culminating in one of the most striking storms we've ever seen in the area. And finally, a group of women came together on Saturday to walk through Dunollie Woods in response to the alleged serious sexual assault which was reported in the area in May. Police are still searching for the 2 suspects.
Thanks, Owen. Dunbeg Primary pupils were left feeling dejected after a break-in at Dunstaffnage Castle cancelled their big day as mini tour guides. Read more about what happened in this week's OT and online. In the meantime, a big shout out to all those children and their amazing teacher, Mr. Burton. We've been hearing how hard you've all been working as trailblazers for the Junior Tour Guide project that Historic Environment Scotland could be rolling out to other schools across the country. So, sorry you were all disappointed, but do you know what? Gold stars to you all. Over on Lismore, the congregation of Cathedral Church St Moloa have now taken ownership of the building after it went up for sale. They've been celebrating the occasion with a flower festival, an old-fashioned ceilidh and a special service. And, vroom vroom, Oban's Lachlan McLachlan, wow, what a name, is all geared up to take on the Knockhill motor racing circuit this month. He's going to be definitely one to watch, big ambition, huge dedication to his sport. And you know what? He's an all-round nice guy, so best of luck, Lachlan. Fee, what have you been working on this week?
Thanks, Kathy. So a former Fort William councillor has challenged local MP Angus MacDonald on comments he made during a parliamentary debate on the controversial and complex issue of puberty blockers. Sarah Fanny, who stepped down from her role as Fort William and Ardnamurchan councillor last year, said she was horrified at Mr MacDonald's comments and accused him of spreading misinformation. Mr MacDonald stood by his words, however, saying his concern in the debate was specific. You can view and read the whole debate by clicking on our story in the Lochaber Times section of the website at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. June saw the end of an era for Lochaber Life magazine as our very own Ian Ferguson hung up his editor's hat after almost 20 years in the hot seat. Never fear though, he isn't going far and will still be out and about taking photographs for the Lochaber Times, alongside Phil Hughes, who also retired recently as assistant manager at Lochaber Leisure Centre. And finally this week, Fort William was awash with colour last Sunday when the annual Lochaber Pride took place, and we have a full page dedicated to the celebration. Back to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Fee. Remember, you can read all these stories in full and more in this week's Oban Times and Lochaber Times, or why not jump over to www.westcoasttoday.co.uk, where you will find news and features from all our titles here on the West Coast. This podcast is now available on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you usually get your podcasts from. Just search for the West Coast Today podcast in the service of your choice. Thanks for listening, and it's bye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
Bye from me, Owen Wild.
And bye from me, Fiona Scott.
Bye.